Ball down off the break.
And an outside chance. Well, more than an outside chance. A shot on the one. A bit of aggression there. The adrenaline starting to pump in both these players. Got a massive kick, the cue ball there, that Chamat was worried about. He has been left now with a long, thin cut. I know you mentioned that Alex Pagulayan can use the rest to great effect. I'm not so sure about Marcus Chamat. My memory fails me in his abilities with the rest. If he's not a good rest player, he may turn the shot down.
Well, most of the pool players that I've seen, he's calling for the rest or the rake, Steve, and most of them that I've seen look very unorthodox with the way they use it. They don't look like they're comfortable at all. So we'll have a look at Marcus. You've got to believe that even in Europe, he's seen a few snooker tables in his day, whether or not he spent any time on them.
He seems to have an orthodox cueing action with the rest. And looking at this, I should think he'll make it. Position on the two, all important. I think he played that safe.
Guaranteed he did where he was going with the cue ball, and he hasn't achieved it. He's left that one sticking out. A difficult shot for Pagulayan, but Marcus was looking to keep him in jail there.
Actually, I think from our screens, they're a little bit deceiving. He can hit the barest edge of this. He could even overcut it. It is very tight.
Yeah, Steve, exactly. Didn't intend that pocket. At least I didn't think he did. Mind you, not going to get a smile from Alex there.
Well, it was very thin. And the clever thing about that shot was that if he had have missed the pot, he had an element of safety in the shot. So, you know, that was a controlled kick out of a snooker, out of a hook, with giving himself a chance of getting lucky. And the better he judged the shot, the more chance he was of getting a bit lucky. If he's dead straight on this blue two, and you can see where he's putting his finger now on the table, can he pot the red three from the jaws of the pocket he intends to pot the blue two in? Or, if that's not a possibility, does he chip the blue two in the middle pocket and try and hold for the red three on the left-hand side of the table? He doesn't like it, that's for sure.
Nothing easy about either path to victory in this rack. Much more difficult shot taking the two into the side pocket, but it could afford a lot more in the positional end.
Bit of safety as well, an insurance policy, but he's playing the run through, and that is an excellent shot. Trouble only in the fact that 3 to 4 is now a problem, but that was as well struck as you could possibly wish. Can he hold this? Does the ball go easily into the centre? It must do. He wouldn't have played it that way otherwise. Race to 11 racks, moved up from 9 to 11 as we reach the last 16. So still a way to go to the finishing line.
He spends a lot of time, his free time, at a lot of the dance clubs in and around Toronto. He says that if he
tripping over handbags.
Yeah, tripping over handbags. If he wins this tournament, Steve, he's going to do a little disco dance around the main table.
Can't wait.
Moonwalking. Right now, he's dancing to the beat. It's going to try and get him 7-6 in front of Marcus Chamat, 2 away from that. Max was trying to will that one ball back into the center of the table, or at least to try and leave a shot at it. There you can see the country's still alive here in the last 16. 8 of them. 128 players started out this event. Actually, there were a lot more. There were 128 that qualified, and there's last year's finalist and a former world champion, Germany's Ralf Souquet.
Yes, and Ralph staying on to support his fellow compatriot Oliver Altman later in the day.
Push out cold.
And what a tall order he's confronted with.
He plays Efren Reyes, the magician, who hasn't really been troubled in this tournament so far. Pagulayan playing a push out, is that correct?
Looks like it, Steve, and this is perfectly legal, only following the break. So he can push that cue ball into his chosen area. Bit of a gambling shot, really, this.
You don't want to push out if you've got anything that's a better alternative, because of course you let your opponent back to the table with the choice of him playing the shot or putting you back in. So you have this dilemma of where to put the cue ball so that you've got a shot yourself if the guy puts you back in, but you haven't given your opponent that much of a shot that he wants to take it. And really, it's a disadvantage to play the push, unless you can really out-kid your opponent somehow. Looks like he's going to push the 3 just to the rail, just past the middle pocket to make it an awkward potting position. Oh, that's a very advanced positional play. He's put himself into a worse position. Chamat now will probably put him back in. How's he going to kick?
Well, the Filipino players renowned as being the best kickers in the game. And to kick, meaning to get out of a snooker or a hook.
So he's sacrificed a thinner escape on the 1, but he's not even going for the 1 direct. He's going to just push it in behind the 5. And with that 3 now on the cushion, he's blocked off a potential path for the 1 should he have pushed it up the table a bit. An excellent shot, although Chamat has a chance to do the same. We saw this earlier on in the match. Pagulayan was left a similar shot to Chamat's. Chamat was able to manoeuvre the 3 balls into a snooker. This doesn't look to be on as the 1 and 5 are touching, but that's Chamat's line. He's looking at going off 2 cushions to go across, graze across the face of the 1 to try and line the 3 balls up and put Pagulayan back in a snooker. Very little chance, I would think, of him leaving this ball on, but a big chance of him putting the balls into a situation where Pagulayan could get the advantage. 2 cushions or 1 cushion? The choice is yours, Marcus. Perhaps from this position the 1 cushion is the better angle to come in from. I think he made the right decision. Can you see an edge there, Jim? Have a look at our screen. You moved, you did the commentator's nightmare. Moved to see on the television to see if you could get a better look. Doesn't matter where you look, it's the same picture.
Nothing changes. I don't think he can get through to the edge of the 1. If he can, well, he's queuing up as though he can, Steve, and he can play a little more aggressive safety here from this position.
Chamat's in trouble after this. Perhaps not enough. He's upset there. That's a weak shot from Pagulayan, and he's actually put himself in trouble.
Well, he took the long path home back to his chair, decided to walk around the table and survey the situation, and it isn't going to change for him.
He did a lap of dishonor. Those small mistakes, and it doesn't look a mistake. If that was a snooker match, you'd say you were quite happy with that. But that is a mistake in 9-ball pool, to allow your opponent to see an edge where really there was a big area with the green 6 and the pink 4 in making sure he had to come via a cushion to hit this 1.
And mistakes really come under the magnifier here, because they can cost you a good number of racks, as has already been displayed.
May not be as fateful for Pagulayan as I first thought. Perhaps a very soft snooker behind the 5 is the order of the day here, just nudging the 1 up the cushion a fraction. Oh, he didn't like that. And as he left the 1-3 on, tough 1-3 combination down the rail, very difficult with both balls so close to the cushion. But it would pay dividends should he get it.
Does he have the courage to take this on? What are his options?
Not a lot. There are situations where you look around and think it's a harder safety shot and one that I could lose the initiative from, that even if you don't fancy the combination, it is the right shot to go for. He doesn't like this combination. He knows from experience that this is very missable, but what else does he do?
Well, that's what I was thinking, Steve. I'm looking for a way that he can possibly play this safe, and nothing's jumping out at me. And Alex is pretty aggressive by nature. It is the type of game that lends itself to aggression, if you're willing to take the bull by the horns. And certainly, with a positive nature, dividends can be forthcoming.
And unfortunately for Pagulayan, that combination that I would say was less than 50-50 has gone wrong, and looking every bit like this match will be locked at 7-7. Neither player able to break away from the other once the game got level. Could go all the way to the wire, this one.
Good clean pot on the 1 there.
He didn't want to move that 3 ball. If he had have clipped the 3 ball in that shot, you never know how that could have ended up interfering with the 2 ball. So bit of steering going on with the cue there.
Now you can see 3, 4, 5, everything in the open, and Marcus really doesn't have to work that cue ball too much now. (7-7) virtually assured, short of something that I really can't see coming from Marcus Chamat.
Some lack of concentration on 7-9 would be the only way.
If you can just leave the cue ball into an area just where he's showing you now with his Q-tip, leave a nice angle to be able to attack position to the 9.
2 places he wants to be, either short of the 7 or on the side cushion with the 7. The one place he doesn't really want to be is dead straight, but really he can organise a positional shot from any place on this table. Just to be careful of that middle pocket. He's a bit closer than he would have liked for comfort, but 7-7, and we are getting quite nicely set up for a grandstand finish. Chamat not happy there for a second. He's just got
Like he was distracted there, Steve. Something just put him off.
Yes, I'm not too sure what it was.
Well, we've just been told that there's a fly in the arena that may have just landed in his vision. No bother, though. The 9 deposited.
Welcome back. It's Pagulayan against Chamat. We're in the 15th rack as we join the action. It's 7-7. Chamat at the table.
Look at this for a result. Well, how's your luck, Marcus Chamat?
Well, Alex Pagulayan comes to the table with mixed emotions. The first emotion was, thank goodness he missed it. The second is, how lucky can you get? What looks to be a 2-cushion escape. This could be a bit more dangerous, I feel. He tried to get safe behind the balls there with side spin. Oh, once again he's left a combination. The one cannon now, the carom onto the 9 ball. That would also have an element of safety on the 1.
This is guaranteed to be taking this one on.
He can play this softly and send the 1 to the cushion behind the 4. Perhaps behind the 4.
He's having a good look at this from both sides. And however he plans to attack this, you watch for the 9.
It is a bit of a narrow angle. He can't play what is known as a... At least I don't think he can play what is known as a half ball shot. If he were to try and get the cue ball to come off the 1 at its widest possible path, he would hit the 9 ball into the top cushion. So he has to play a little bit thinner on the 1 ball. I don't think he's not even going for it. Well, that's a surprise.
Possible combination, Steve?
What, the 1 onto the 9? But yeah, but that leaves that they're still on if he misses it. Great
9
shot.
there. What a shot from Chamat. Now 8-7 to Marcus Chamat, all set for rack number 16.
A race to 11. And the winner place in the last 8. And a potential here for an easy out.
Just recomposed himself there. And now on the 3. And every chance to go 9-7 in front of Canada's Alex Pagulayan. Alex won the Canadian 9-ball championships last summer in a thrilling final over another player that came over here for his first time, Eddie Galati. And Eddie failed to qualify for the elimination stages. And many eyes back home watching Alex and cheering very hard for him to get through. And right now, Marcus Chamat bidding very strongly to become the winner of this match.
Lost the white ball there. That was the worst break Chamat has come up with so far. But he's got a chance.
Every chance here, Steve. Another look at the lay of the land here, and no doubt that Marcus is going to be looking at the 2-4 combination, and he'll want to leave himself a nice angle on the 2.
I say the worst break there, Jim, unless he decided to play a different break off, the sort of the cut break where the cue ball goes to the side cushion to try and affect a better spread of the balls, but he may have just lost it a bit to the left.
Risky shot, this one. He doesn't want to turn it back. He has seized the initiative, and failure at this attempt could well let Alex Pagulayan right back in.
There's no need to play this shot. There really isn't a need. Unless, of course, he gets it.
Well,
and
he
wins.
played a more difficult one earlier.
Yes. Okay, the best way to knock the 4 in is to play the blue 2 into the cushion and then back out across, but then the blue 2 goes a bit safe. He'd have the cue ball going over to that side of the table, so it'd be okay. Both balls would be lined up, perhaps.
I think Stevie's going to try and snick this too, and play off the cushion and take the cue ball back into the safety end.
Okay, Jim.
A loose prediction, but I just got a feeling from Marcus that he realizes that he sees it. Now, as I say that, he's eyeing up the combination.
Yeah, the only problem with that is the ideal angle is the middle pocket to contact the side cushion. He's not certain to get behind them unless he gets very close to that middle pocket.
Oh, what a shot there. Little clench of the fist to punctuate knocking that 4 ball in.
Well, he made it look easy, and of course, you know, it was always going to be going towards that pot, but if he'd actually caught the pink 4 on the right-hand side, he could have missed it to the left of the pocket. And now, all of a sudden, by being brave, Chamat has just to negotiate the brown 7 in trundling up the table. Too far. Whoa, he says.
Just 3 days remain to see who will be crowned the Hasseröder 2002 World 9-Ball Championship. And the crowds here in Cardiff have come out in droves to support this event and pick their chosen player and follow his path through. It's been a terrific venue, and what a host Cardiff has been for this event.
Taking a bit of time with this shot. Doesn't really want to collide into the 9 ball, and should he do that, he could ruin his position on the 5. First of all, can he get past the 9? No. Did it ruin his position? Doesn't need to be said, does it, really? He could, of course, if he'd have caught that 9 ball a bit thicker, have ended up in the jaws of the pocket, completely the wrong side of the 5. That would have been a nightmare scenario for Chamat.
Well, the European followers will be certainly keeping an eye on the progress of both Chamat and Oliver Ortmann in this event.
This is a bad shot. That is a weak shot from Chamat. Absolutely no need to be as close to the 7 as that. And now, although he has a chance of the 7 into the corner or the centre, he has more work to do with the cue ball. And every time you have to make that cue ball travel a longer path around the table, there is a chance that something could go wrong. So he's going to cut the 7 in the middle, send the cue ball back up the table. Then the 9 could interfere with this shot for the natural angles. So perhaps a bit of side spin to come into this area rather than down the left-hand side of the table after cutting. Or does he go for the brown 7 in the corner, come round the back of the 8, or play very softly for the 8? So many options, but so many things can go wrong.
In the end, he made it look a lot easier than it was.
I just wasted a load of breath there, didn't I?
8-9 to leave but 1 rack away for Marcus Chamat and a place in the last 8. And confirmation now of that scoreline, 10-7, Marcus Chamat. Marcus Chamat is trying to focus in on the finish line and hoping to be playing the last rack of the afternoon for him. This would be a great win over Alex Pagulayan. Certainly came into this as a slight underdog, I feel.
And this would be a great opening shot to make position on the 3. This one does go in the center pocket, but he can't really afford to hit it too firmly.
Steve, it looks like he has to play this into the corner with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball.
Yep.
He's looking at it about 3 or 4 times, but this surely has to go down into the top pocket.
He was looking at the possibility of just leaving the cue ball in the jaws of the middle pocket and playing the thin cut on the 3. But this with speed, well, he can play this with speed. It's a bit further away from that point than I thought. But can he get enough topspin on the ball afterwards to get down the table? He's going to pot the ball in the left-hand part of the pocket, put topspin on the cue ball, and effectively the spin will take it down towards the 3. Unless he decides to play... No, he's now changed his mind, I think, into the corner. Undecided.
It always appeared to be his only option for position to the 3. And now, look at the balls remaining on the table. Just 7 colors away from Marcus Chamat and a place in the quarterfinals here in Cardiff.
So the Killer Pixie looks to be going back to Canada. And it's sad to see Alex Pagulayan go out of the tournament. He's a very likeable young man, and also the type of person who has the charisma to be a great world champion.
Absolutely, and very interactive with all the people that have been here at the arena, playing around with them, having a good laugh. He's terrific fun to have around. Certainly won't be a lot of fun to see him head back. But then again, you've got to tip your hat to the way Marcus Chamat has stuck to his guns here. The way Pagulayan came back at him after he forged a 5-0 lead. A lesser player could easily have folded his tent.
Two of the nice guys are Paul. Oh, he didn't like that. He's got the wrong side of the 6, which means the 7 has to go into the top right hand on our screens. Green 6, followed by brown 7, black 8, stripy yellow 9. Nice few dollars and a place in the last 8. All you've got to do is knock the 4 balls in. And they should be simple, Jim, but when it's the finishing line, that's when the arm gets the most tense. Well, he chose to take that top right-hand corner pocket completely out of play, and has got ideal position now.
And perfect angle on the 8 too, to complete the victory here for Chamat. And look at him. The celebration has started. He knows it. The 9 down, and Marcus Chamat has just beaten Alex Pagulayan from Canada 11-7. He will be through to the quarterfinals.